Today's vlog is entitled, I Want You to Pay. And it's part of my series on how to handle toxic relationships, how to handle relationships with narcissists, and how to handle being a human on this landscape that we are living today. But first, for those of you who are new to my channel, I'd like to explain that I do 3 different types of content here. And each of them are their own thing and they vary in length. The first one is what I call Claudisms, which are phrases and words and images that I coin to help you emotionally calibrate, mentally reframe situations, and spiritually connect to the now moment. And those are the shorter ones. Number 2 are these blogs, and these are medium size in length where I share with you my reflections on what's happening to us as individuals, but also what's happening out there. And they are just more me sharing what I'm thinking about and how I've analyzed it. And number 3 is much longer. It's usually an hour or more. It's my Heaven on Earth podcast, which is where I connect what's happening to the individual and how it is connected to what's happening on the planet and to the collective, or what I've coined as the all is in the small and the small is in the all. All 3 of them are multidimensional, are holistic, and are psycho-spiritual. So let's dive right into this blog, and I hope you find it helpful if you're wrestling with a toxic relationship or in situations where you feel that you want vengeance. And as always, I'm going to be following my notes here. I want you to pay for all the damage, for the hurt that you've done to me. Now, this feeling of vengeance is a normal feeling. It is a human feeling. So let's start right there. Vengeance, the instinct for vengeance, has inside of itself the instinct of self-defense when someone is hurting you. When someone is causing your life anguish or derailing it. Again, the feeling is normal. Now, in the dynamic meditation method, my self-healing modality, I work a ton with the feelings that no one wants to admit, that feel shameful to admit, that feel destructive. The reason why I work on them a lot, feelings like vengeance, jealousy, envy, shame, wanting to harm others. The reason why I tackle these feelings head on is because if we don't acknowledge them, own them, and accept them inside of ourselves, not only will they go into the shadow, we will leak them, spew them, and act out on them. We will not regulate the behavior that comes from those emotions. And these behaviors cause even more destruction, cause damage. They are the reason that wars exist. They are the reason that domestic abuse exists, child abuse exists, sexual abuse exists on the planet. And that is why I tackle them head on, even though in some places they feel taboo. We are not spiritually or emotionally bypassing these feelings. I cannot emphasize them enough because I am after heaven on earth, and heaven on earth means that we look at these hard feelings straight on. So this is a normal feeling when we feel attacked and hurt, when we have unbearable pain. The feeling of vengeance comes up when we feel powerless, when people have been cruel to us as humans, to children, to animals. The feeling of wanting vengeance, of wanting folks to pay comes up when there's trauma, betrayal. This is real, folks. These are some dark emotions that must be addressed and internally calibrated so that we don't have behavioral dysregulations. And go to my podcast. There's a 2-part podcast on the era of emotions where I talk about all of this. We have to internally calibrate our emotions in order for us to behaviorally regulate. So here's what you need to know about the emotion of vengeance. I'm going to give you some hacks, maybe not all of them. This is how I'm offering you. I'm inviting you to think about it. And again, it's normal. Don't hide from it. Number 1, ideally, at our highest, most mature, most healed, more psychologically aware space, we release on it. And in the dynamic meditation method, what we would start to do is we would start to say yes to it. We would measure it from 1 to 10. And as uncomfortable as it is, we would start to let it go. Let it go. Why? Because we don't want that emotion dominating our everyday experiences. And we don't want to be feeding it, churning, making it more and more alive so that at some point we're going to explode. We're going to explode with it. Ideally, at our highest state, we release on it. Number 2, we do, check this out, we do an airbender move. And we use it as fuel. We identify this internal energy. We talk about energy a lot on this channel. And we use it. You know how the airbender would just move around, move the energy around? And we use this energy and we use it as fuel towards ourselves. And I'm reminded, and I use this phrase a lot, Oprah's so good. The best revenge is excellence. The best revenge is excellent. And who more than Oprah, if you know her life story of abandonment, betrayal, cruelty, abuse, racism, rejection, the best revenge is excellence. Now, this is hard. This is hard to do, but I want to give it to you. It is the best revenge for you to get better and better, to become the favorite version of yourself, the highest version of yourself. Let me tell you why. When in relationship with a narcissist. Now remember, there's a parallel process. This is your individual life, but it's also the individual's life in relation to the collective, to the planetary landscape. This goes for groups of people who have to deal with what's happening out there. The narcissist hates when we are free through our prowess. Remember, pause gives us power, which gives us possibility, which gives us prowess. The narcissist despises and collapses when we are becoming more vibrant, more alive, and more excellent. When we self-govern, we self-master, and we become the sovereigns of our own beings, the sovereigns of our own groups, the sovereigns of our own race, ethnicity. Choose, because it starts with the individual. The system around us, the dominant figures around us collapse. Now, they don't collapse without a fight. Okay, so what do we do then? We become self-knowledgeable. We defeat our own internal bully. And our internal bully, the parts of ourselves that don't believe in ourselves, the parts of ourselves that still criticizes ourselves, that bully ourselves, collude, makes an alliance with the outside bully, with the outside narcissist. So when we do the hard work on healing ourselves, remember, through YouTube University, I love YouTube University because everything's free and we have access to all sorts of motivational thinking, reframing, emotionally healing, spiritually connecting to higher sources, to the ancestors. YouTube University has everything that we need to self-heal, including this channel. When we heal as an individual, as a group, as a race, as an ethnicity, the narcissist has no hold on our internal prowess. So even if you do this quietly, build on it. And remember that your internal criticism, you not believing in yourself, your internal bully connects, allies, colludes with the external narcissist. So break that by self-healing, self-governing, self-mastering. And get this, when you don't make them pay by choosing violence against them, physical violence, for as an example, which, by the way, makes sense that we have those urges. We validate that feeling. What we don't validate is going out and using that behavior. Why? Because you pay the price for them. You pay the price. Moms, our children will pay the price in jail. They will pay the price of ruining everything they've built. They will pay the price. It is us who will pay the price if we move into the behavior of vengeance. We separate the urge, the emotion, the validation for wanting vengeance. We separate it from the behavior so that it is not us who pays the price. It is not our children. It is not our people who pay the price for them, for their dysregulated behavior, because history shows that it is us. It is us who will pay the price for behaviorally acting out on vengeance. This aligns with their strategy completely. When we reduce ourselves to becoming smaller for them, it aligns with their strategy. So we pull the anomaly and we go way bigger. And we go way bigger through excellence, with the fuller expression of the self. And everything on this channel promotes that. It promotes sovereignty and prowess and leadership and self-mastery and being the pilot of your own beautiful life. You are the curator. Okay? So you will be questioned by the narcissist. You will be fought. They will double down. They will threaten with abandonment. Watch all of my other vlogs and my cloudisms. I know this process well. Read my book, The Empath Leader, because I talk about all of this. But we are here to pull the anomaly of doing the opposite. Become your best self and your favorite self. Now, 2 additions to this. This is a longer vlog because it's so important. I don't want to mince my words. The spiritual ad for those of you who are spiritual inclined, and I am a psycho-spiritual coach, is the biblical phrase, "Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord." And the way that would be translated into 12-step language is, let go and let God. Let go and let God. And again, these are phrases that help us reframe that in those emotional moments, it helps us calibrate to keep saying, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. Let go and let God. This isn't mine. Remember my cloudism? Return to sender. So that you can do the airbender move of focusing on yourself. When you let go and let God, when you say, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, when you return it to sender, you have all that space, that energy, and that time to focus on you. Let me do another ad. It's a word of caution. If you right now are in a domestic abuse situation or you're currently living with a narcissist, first of all, there's plenty of resources and I encourage you to go find them. Anything on YouTube University around domestic abuse, around narcissism, please visit Dr. Deversala Ramani, Dr. Ramani. She's the pro, the expert, the GOAT, the OG on narcissism. Please go to her channel. Lisa Romano is another one. She talks a lot about codependence and about relationships with narcissists and abusive relationships, okay? Go. Find your plan B. Establish your plan B. This goes for groups. It goes for cults. Please create quietly your plan B. Create your ways of escaping, of getting yourself out of these situations. This is very important. And inform yourself. The way that we feel the most powerless is when we feel uninformed. When we feel that the narcissist has way more information than we do. This isn't true. The spoiler alert, you all, is that the narcissist is way more codependent on us. The narcissist needs what we supply, which is our fear, our impoverished self-knowledge. When we feel that we don't know ourselves. So the way is we remove that supply, whether it be from systems, groups, organizations. We remove it by becoming the self-governing, self-knowledgeable, and self-healed masters of our own life, right? It is through fear and low self-esteem that we are dominated. For all of human history, let's flip it. Let's pull the anomaly on this. History cannot and will not repeat itself. So be the first one in your lineage to change this whole thing around. And I always say, if you're watching this, and if you were born in these times, we are the ones to do this. We are the ones to have our healing change history. So I hope this was helpful, spiritually informative, emotionally informative, and mentally reframing. And remember Oprah's words, the best vengeance is excellence. Thanks for being on this journey with me. And if this resonates, please share it for someone who might need to hear it. Subscribe, like, comment. Let's have a dialogue about this. And I'll see you in the next vlog.